Ruth Cadbury.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd rather be speaking today on whether or not we should be leaving the EU. The more I hear, the more I fear the UK is heading over a cliff and onto rocks far below. But in fact, like everyone here today, I'm speaking on the specifics of how the UK withdraws from the EU if withdrawal is to go ahead. I support New Clause 12 and New Clause 21 and others that seek to protect our environmental protections and legislation, particularly New Clause 12 in the name of my honourable friend from Wakefield, that it requires the government to report on the loss of environmental protection as a result of leaving the EU and on a new environmental protection bill being introduced. The government have kept trying to reassure Parliament and the British people that Brexit will mean that EU law will somehow be seamlessly merged into UK law and that we don't need to worry. Well, not only do I not believe that to be true, I am also concerned about the government's lack of urgency about taking sufficient legislative action before March 2019. We're still waiting for the long-promised policy statement on environmental principles that will underpin future environment policy making, and there will be wide consultation, and even this consultation is not going to be on the actual policies but just exploring the scope and content of a new statement on environmental principles. That suggests to me there's a lot of law up for grabs and no sense of urgency. And specifically on air quality, which matters greatly to my constituents, the issue is dragging its feet. The London Mayor and Hounslow Council and many councils are using their limited powers to improve air quality, but there is only so much they can do. The Mayor of London has made it very clear that the UK won't bring pollution levels into line with existing EU air quality laws without serious and urgent action by the government. But instead, the government is using taxpayers' money to defend yet another legal challenge by Client Earth over illegal levels of air pollution in the UK and has launched an environment plan that is weak, to say the least. Given this lack of proven commitment to bring the UK into compliance with even one aspect of existing EU environment standards, I have little faith that Brexit will mean anything other than an undermining of many protections and improvements that the EU has brought us to date. That's why I urge this House to support the many amendments, and particularly New Clause 12 and 21, and any others that protect our environmental rights and protections that I and my constituents and many of us hold so dear. Thank you very much.